going on, everyone? Jared here from the Figure Bros, and today I'm very excited to be taking a look at kind of an uncommon appearance on this channel. I know we've looked at some independent figures in the past, but none quite as independent as Odious right here. Now, Odious is a creation of Unparalleled Universe or Wade Merrick, I believe. You can find him on Instagram, YouTube, and he's been working on making his figure for a while of his own like personal avatar, and it's finally out. So we're going to be taking a look at this figure today by Unparalleled Universe, and we're going to see what it's like, man. We're going to see what it stacks up. I'm really excited because I think it's a good thing that the more independent people I see making toys, the better it is overall for the toy market, I think. The more people that can show that, hey, I can make a quality product that can compete with these big name brands, the more competition it encourages, and that is better for the market overall. So even if you weren't really planning on picking this up or diving into this smaller line, I think it's worth a watch, and it might even be worth a buy. I'll have you guys decide that by the end of the video. So without further ado, let me stop my yapping and get this bad boy out of the box and take a closer look. Now, before we look at the figure, I want to take another look at the box. Obviously, you guys saw the 360 as I usually do, but this has some pretty cool interior design here, so I wanted to take a look at that. Obviously, you have the big Odious logo there, and you have a bunch of like newspaper clippings. I believe these are like references to his live shows. Yeah, very cool stuff here. You guys can feel free to pause this and read it all if you want. But I really like the work that was put in this packaging here. So very cool there. But all right, I know you guys want the real meat and potatoes, so let's get into it. And here he is, the hairy menace himself. Yeah, as you can see, he's a little naked right now. Don't worry, we'll fix that in just a little bit, but I want to go through the articulation first and show you guys everything that's going on under the body. Because a lot of this paint here that you can see will be covered up by some of his articles of clothing. So let's go ahead and talk about the articulation. There is a double ball joint up at the head and another one down at the bottom, dumbbell joints. So he can get quite a bit of range up. I feel like the socket for this head isn't pushing all the way, but I'll talk about that more in a little bit. So I don't think they're usually that gappy. But either way, you get a whole lot of range, so that's great. Get some attitude side to side. Very nice. For the shoulders, full horizontal. You do get a butterfly joint. Not a ton of movement out of it, but there is a little bit there. You do get a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow. Now I did have a little bit of QC on this. You can see this joint here is starting to split a little. I don't think it's going to break, but it's just something to keep in mind. I've been told by many people to take care of this figure when you first open it, just because of some small QC issues or clothes being put on the wrong way in the packaging. So just take your time. All the hands are on a standard wrist hinge, and they just pop on with a little ball peg there. That works just fine. A little bit tight, but pretty good. You do have another dumbbell joint at the top and the bottom here, so you get a pretty good amount of range downwards. Very good amount of range backwards. A little bit of gapping here, but not too bad. Of course, you can twist them around however way you want. Going down to the legs, you can do almost a full split. Legs can go that far up, not really that far back. Going down to the knees, you do get double jointed knees that work quite well. And you do get a ball joint for the ankle, so that can go any way you want with a perfect rocker. And of course, you get the glorious toe hinge. No figure is perfect without its toe hinge. I'm not actually a huge fan of the way this toe hinge was done. I think it's just my copy, though, because it's very floppy, so it kind of gets in the way of him standing. That's crazy, actually. I just remember we had that problem with Savage Crucible just a few months ago. But that's okay. Nothing a little Kiki's joint comb won't fix. Ain't that right? If you're a toy collector, that is worth their salt. You know what that is. You know what's up. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and get his clothes back on, and we'll talk a little more about this figure. Alrighty, so here he is all clothed up. Looks a little better now. He's probably a little bit warmer. So, and luckily, I will say the clothing here, it's got Velcro on it. It attaches mostly pretty nice. It's nice and not too snug. It's pretty loose, so it doesn't really get in the way of articulation much. So that is good here. I like that there's like some, extra torn detail in this very nice jacket he's got on. Pretty cool. So definitely a lot of cool detail here. You can get his hood over his head too. Let's talk about his other accessories while we're at it. He comes with a total of 8 pairs of hands. All right, so of course you do get his pair of fist hands that come on him in the package. You get a pair of splayed out hands. All the hands have a nice wash on them and good paint work, so that's good. You get a pair of clawing hands that are a little more clenched. You get a pair of a little more wild clawing hands. I like the paint details that are done on the fingernails there. Get a pair of relaxed, kind of open palm hands. A pair of gripping hands for his accessory that I will show you guys in just a minute. Pair of more loosely gripping hands that look like they're more able to hold like a gun or different kind of weapon. And you get a pair of pointing fingers. Very nice. I like these a lot. Yeah, 8 pairs of hands. That's pretty good, guys. Very pleased to see that. Like I say, the more accessories, the better. Let's talk about his head sculpts. So you do get this more kind of grimacing head with his eye half shut there. The heads are all pretty nice detail-wise. I like the sculpting with like the warts and the shading and the forehead wrinkles. You do get a kind of confused looking head. Not sure what's going on here. You get a still kind of confused looking head, but a little more curious maybe. I like it a lot still though. You do get a pretty angry head here. Looks like he's about to bust some skulls open. And you do get a very surprised looking head that I like a lot. This might be my favorite head out of the bunch. But that does bring us to my first huge gripe with this figure. Swapping the heads out is a pain. And I know I'm not the only person who has had this issue. But they are very difficult, and I highly recommend you use a blow dryer. Because there's 2 issues here. First of all, the socket in here is too tight. I don't think they did it with a gummy enough plastic. And then, secondly, because this is a dumbbell joint, you do get better range out of it. But the problem is, anytime you try to put a new head on it, it's going to move. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get this head on there. I might have to do the rest of this headless. All right, he's back and he got some head. So good. But I'm trying not to stress this, mostly because my very good friend Josh Brown actually lended me this figure to review. So big shout out to Josh Brown. I'll put a picture on up screen here really quick. Shows his Instagram and everything. He does some cool stuff, some custom figures. So, but we still got some more accessories to go over. I know you do get this huge, very nicely painted skull mace, like an ape skull. It's very cool. It's a nice little weapon. And then you do get one more clothing accessory, and it's one more. It's a sleeveless flannel, and that looks pretty nice. But I think I prefer the sleeved one. But the sleeveless is definitely a good look too. editing Jared here. My bad, guys. You also get this black kind of trench coat, kind of long coat. But that does bring me to another small gripe. Forgot to include that here. So none of these totally are my bad. But now you know. Vertically hinged. They're all horizontally hinged. And it works fine for holding the weapon, of course. You can use either hand to hold it, whether it be this one or the more close grip one. But yeah, I just wish we got that vertical hinge here to show a little more movement, but otherwise it's definitely still going to move good. So, and when I bring up things like criticisms or gripes, that's not at all to slight Wade. I'm just looking for things that could be improved in the future. Because I know it can't be easy to make your own toy. To make your own figure. I got to give mad props for that. But these are just small things that I see that could maybe be improved to maybe, you know, garner a wider audience. You know, things I want to see done better. But otherwise, there's a lot of cool stuff here. I think the other small gripe I have is the price. It is about $80 to $90 for the full figure. You do get quite a bit of accessories and hands. I would like to see maybe one more weapon, maybe a couple more accessories. Because the fun factor of this figure is huge, right? You can put him with anyone doing anything, and it's going to look hilarious, or you're just going to have a lot of fun doing it. So I really like that about this figure. But it also brings the point of, well, what attachment do I have to this $90 figure for me to get it? You know, maybe you follow Unparalleled Universe, you watch his live streams, watch his reviews, but is it enough to get you to buy the figure? I don't know. But that's just me thinking about things, bringing things into consideration. Personally, me without a ton of attachment, I probably would get something like the base figure. Now, he has shown off newer figures that I'll put here of like different outfits, different styles, different accessories that I am anticipating a lot more and will 100% get myself. But for now, I'm going to give Odious the Living Curse a solid 7 out of 10. I do have some criticisms, but they're all constructive criticisms. I think it's a very cool thing that's been done here. You know, an action figure made by a YouTuber toy collector. It's a really cool thing. So I got to give Wade massive props for it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this going to be a pickup for you guys? I think it's pretty cool, and I'm definitely excited to see what more he has planned down the pipeline. And I will be looking at more of his figures, whether they just be reskins or alternate outfits. I'm definitely still interested in it. So I'm here for the long ride. So, you know, again, let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below of this review of this figure, if you guys will be picking one up. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, or dislike it, and tell me why you didn't like it down in the comments below. But until then, guys, I will catch you guys in the next review. See ya.